I found a video of my daughter being beaten at school. I found every girl in that video and made sure the world they built came down around them. My daughter Bree is 15 years old, and she is the kind of kid who makes friends with the new student on their first day. She shares her lunch with people who forget theirs. She writes little notes for her classmates when they seem sad. She has been that way since she was small, and I have spent her entire life being proud of the person she is. So when I came home on a Wednesday and found Bree sitting on the bathroom floor with a busted lip and a bruise forming under her left eye, and she told me she fell during gym class, I knew she was lying. She wouldn't look at me. She kept her arms wrapped around her knees and her voice was shaking, and I sat down next to her and told her she didn't have to tell me right now, but I wasn't going anywhere. She went to bed without eating. I sat in the living room and went through her backpack looking for anything that would tell me what happened. I found nothing. The next morning, Bree said she didn't want to go to school. I let her stay home. She stayed in her room all day. That evening, my son Gio, who is 12, came to me and said I need to show you something. He handed me his phone. A kid from his grade had sent it to him. It was a video. It was 43 seconds long, and I will remember every single one of them for the rest of my life. In the video, Bree was standing against a wall in what looked like a bathroom at school. There were 4 girls around her. One of them slapped her across the face. Bree put her hands up and tried to turn away, and another one grabbed her hair and yanked her back. A third one hit her in the stomach, and Bree doubled over, and the fourth one pushed her to the ground. While she was on the floor, one of them kicked her in the side, and another one leaned down and said something I couldn't hear clearly. They were all laughing. Bree was curled up on the tile floor with her hands over her head, and these 4 girls stood over her laughing like it was entertainment. I put the phone down and walked to the garage and stood there for about 15 minutes because I didn't trust myself to be in the same room as my children while I was feeling what I was feeling. Then I went back inside and I got to work. I asked Gio who sent the video, and he told me. I asked if he knew who the girls were. He said everyone at school knew. Their names were Kira, Avery, Maddox, and Lena. Kira was the one who slapped Bree first. She was the ringleader. I knew Kira's mother because she ran the booster club at the school and acted like that made her important. Her name was Celeste. The next morning, I drove to Celeste's house. I knocked on the door and she answered in workout clothes and smiled at me like we were about to chat about a bake sale. I told her what her daughter did. She tilted her head and said, Kira told her there was a disagreement but that it was mutual. I said it wasn't mutual. Your daughter slapped mine across the face and 3 other girls held her down. Celeste said girls that age can be dramatic and that she was sure both sides played a part. I said there aren't 2 sides when 4 people corner 1 person in a bathroom. She said she'd talk to Kira. I said that's not going to be enough. She said she wasn't sure what else I expected. I left her house and drove to the school. I walked into the front office and asked to speak to the principal. I told him exactly what happened and I told him there was a video. He said he'd look into it. I said I'm not leaving until you tell me what you're going to do. He said these things take time and that they needed to investigate. I said my daughter has a bruise on her face and a split lip and 4 students did it and there is a video and you're telling me you need to investigate. I told him I'd be back the next morning and every morning after that until those girls were out of my daughter's school. Then I went home and found out everything I could about the other 3 families. Avery's parents owned a restaurant in town. Maddox's mother was a nurse. Lena's father coached the junior varsity softball team at the school. These weren't strangers. These were families embedded in the community who thought their position meant their kids could do whatever they wanted without consequences. I went to every single one of them over the next 2 days. Avery's father said kids fight and it wasn't a big deal. Maddox's mother said she was sure there was more to the